show. It is a privilege to be joined by NBA analyst. Sorry, that's my favorite part.
Rick, I'm sorry.
Extraordinaire Rick Bucher, I think one of the most brilliant minds when talking basketball and all of the sport. Y'all in for a treat if he is here. Slick, I want to pose this to you. I believe Kawhi Leonard playing right now is the best player in the playoffs based upon how he's playing. Kawhi Leonard dropped 39 points last night. No player in the playoffs thus far has dropped more, including the likes of Luka Doncic, including the likes of Giannis, who had nearly all of his team's points in the first round. But not only has no players dropped as many points as Kawhi Leonard did with those 39, no player in my mind can play lockdown D like Kawhi outside of Giannis from positions 1 through 4. There's a certain sequence, Colvin, if we have it, please play it. Coming off the timeout with a minute left, Kawhi Leonard, it's 103-102. He goes down and he gets a bucket. If you watch nothing else,
and that's Aaron Gordon
game,
too now.
Watch this. He gets a bucket on Aaron Gordon. He makes it 105-102. But now it's the Nuggets ball. Nuggets down by 3. Obviously, they're going to go to the best player in basketball, and Jokic. And what happens? Kawhi Leonard, steal. Now it's 105-102, and that is how the game ends. Kawhi Leonard, he can give you a bucket at will on offense and then can play lockdown D on the other side of the ball. That was the game. 103-102. Timeout. Ty Lue called the play for Kawhi. ISO ball on Aaron Gordon. I would suggest the Nuggets' best defender, especially the best defender who has a little bit of size to him, gets a bucket. Then on the flip side, you're going to Jokic. Potentially could be a 3-time MVP, and Kawhi Leonard, you got to steal to ice up the game. That is why, to me, Kawhi Leonard right now, playing like the best player in basketball. I would suggest the best player remaining in the playoffs, how he's looking. Slick, what did you see? Because we were texting during the game, literally.
Yeah, the best one-on-one player? Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
We're playing 5-on-5. So for me, it's still Nikola Jokic as being the best player in the playoffs right now, just because of all that he does. If you look at the numbers that he has, and I get you, like Kawhi's ability to defend, no question about it. That Jokic doesn't have that same ability. And if you can give Kawhi a team that can put him in place to make those plays, those game-winning plays, he certainly has that capability. Can we just take a moment, though, and be thankful that we get to have this conversation about Kawhi Leonard?
Slick.
Because it has been so long since we've even been able to consider him as one of the best players in the playoffs, because we haven't seen that. It's nice to ask this question again, and he's even coming out a little bit, like in terms of you hear him in the post game, you see, he's
more free,
he's giving
more
you,
comfortable.
Yeah, he's giving you answers. He's talking. He's comfortable.
He hear the whispers.
For sure. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is, but the fact that he is allowing us to see him in full, and he's back to being the player that we always enjoyed seeing, I just appreciate that, and I hope it continues. I don't want to jinx him, but the last 2 times he was in the playoffs, he lasted 2 games. Yeah. Now, he looks completely different.
Yes, he does.
Played, I think the most important stat, 39 minutes and 1 second
Played a lot.
after playing 41 minutes in game 1 just 2 days ago.
Trying to win.
For me, that is a great indicator of where he is. And I'm just, there was so much talk about him being a malingerer, a guy who didn't want to play, a guy who was just milking the system and getting paid. And I knew better because I knew how hard he was working, and I know the people that work with him physically. I knew what he was dealing with. So to see him come all the way back, because let's face it, his bank account is full.
Yes, it is.
Like,
They say his pockets is fat.
how much mental grind do you have to go through to go through this? We saw it with Klay Thompson, and Klay Thompson allowed us to see emotionally and mentally what he went through to get back. That, to me, is the best part of this Kawhi Leonard story, is that he made it all the way back, and he's allowing us to watch him play basketball at the level that some would say only he can play.
Now, a couple days ago, or last week, you asked this question, and I said I think it was Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard.
And you know, I normally get beat up on with these topics with Slick. It's the first time I've been right in like 2 years, Slick. So I'm about to brag. I said, he said, is it Jokic or is it Kawhi? I said, it's Kawhi. And everybody laughed at me. Listen, he is the only player, right, that could miss games and games and games and come back like he never lost a beat.
Yeah.
You know, normally guys be rusty or you lose a step. Like, imagine playing football, right, and I'll miss all these games and I'm still good like I left. He's special, man. And maybe he's not overall better than Jokic because Jokic does so much. But one thing he has, and I don't see in Jokic a lot of times, he got that killer instinct in him. I ain't passing. I'm trying to win, right? I'm not looking for the open guy. I'm looking to kill this guy that's guarding me. And he does that. If you turn that game on, right, he couldn't miss for the first 7, 8 shots.
Yep.
And then the first defensive stance he got, he had a jump ball where Aaron Gordon soon the whistle blew. Soon the game got on, the first possession, give me that.
Yep.
Jump ball. I saw he wants to win.
Yeah.
I told you this, man. They are in trouble. Kawhi Leonard is back. And everybody had them whispers, he's this, he's that, and the third. He heard that. Because he don't really say much. But he's talking like, well, you know, hey, man, I'm hearing it. Basically, I'm hearing it. And I'm answering it. So I love what he's doing. I think he is the best player in the league right now in the playoffs. This in the playoffs.
No Luka.
I just
Man.
don't. Here's why.
He would do Luka dirty.
Up by 2, down by 2, with a minute left in the game. I do not think there's another player I would rather have than Kawhi Leonard in either scenario. If I'm up by 2 with 1 minute left, if I'm down by 2 with 1 minute left. What we know about playoff basketball, and we saw it last night, games are going to come down to the closing possession.
That's true.
And if you are up by 2, you need somebody to go get a bucket. Slick alluded to it. ISO ball, I do not know outside of Luka Doncic who is better right now at just playing ISO one-on-one. I don't need a pick, bruh. I don't need no screen. I don't need to come off nothing. Just me and you. ISO ball. And then defensively, I don't know if there's another player, again, outside of Giannis, but Giannis is primarily guarding the 4 and the 5s. I don't know if there's another player
Jimmy's up there.
Yeah, Jimmy up there as well, who 1 through 4, I don't care who you are. But the only issue even now, and it's not a Jimmy combo for me, Kawhi isn't worried about his lack of foot speed guarding anybody.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Like, Jimmy will be cognizant of, you know what, I don't necessarily want to guard Shea right now because Jimmy's like, bro, I'm 34. I've been there. I've done that, all the things. Kawhi, I remember it vividly when the Clippers were playing the Warriors. It was game 82 of 82 this year. And Steph was on a heater. 5 consecutive points Steph had. And Kawhi said, move out the way, Dunn. Move out the way, Harden. I got Steph. The possession ended in a turnover. Clippers win.
Oh, real quick, I just want before you go.
By the way, if I had flowers, I would give them.
I want this though. Now, y'all telling me last night watching that game,
Yeah.
who that remind you of? He like Kobe out there. Mid-range work, right? We down, we battle, we up 3, we down 3, we tied up. All Kobe work. Give me the rock. Mid-range, 3, everything.
You know what,
like Kobe Bryant.
The thing that was most familiar is you knew where he wanted to go.
Yes.
Like,
every
you knew
time.
he was going to go to that mid-range, right? But you know the spot he was going to go to. The Denver Nuggets knew where he was. This is where I'm going.
He can get to that right
and he
elbow
would
every
get there,
time.
and then with that high release and his strength, it's automatic.
elevates.
It hits the net the same way.
Yep.
He still looks super athletic to me, and I think that's the thing that I took away. Like, he's 33 years old.
He ain't young.
He's not young, but he's playing
33
like
going on
he is.
43.
Yeah, he looks like an old man until he starts playing.
Yeah.
And then he drops 39. I mean, 15 of 19 shooting.
Yeah.
Steals.
And he took over, though. I love he took over the game.
And if he plays like he did last night, that's why I think he could be one of the best players in the playoffs, because it's not only that, but you get a good defender, too.
Yeah.
So you're saying it's the best ISO ball player, which I agree, but not only can he score, which is 39, but he can lock dudes up. So for me, it's a yeah.
The one caveat is, and it's difficult because of where he operates. It's difficult to double team if he's in the right space, right? Just off of the elbows, right? But we didn't see that. So that's what I want to see, if there's an adjustment made. You know, do you bring a double? Do you trap him early and try to get the ball out of his hands? Do you do something? Because that's what they do with Jokic.
But here's what's fascinating as a defender. Kawhi Leonard's offensive game doesn't scream double team, because you're not getting beat off the dribble.
Right.
You're there.
Right.
He's just making contested shots, right?
Right.
I would equate it to football, a receiver who's making contested catches. It's like you double team the fast dude who can beat the corner one-on-one, and you need the safety's help over the top.
Right.
But the dude who's just making 50-50 ball contested catches, like, he doesn't command a double team. It would almost be odd to double team Kawhi Leonard, because Gordon is there every time.
Yes.
Jamal Murray, he's there.
What about to get it out?
time.
How about this, though, to get it out of his
Like
hand?
blitzing him?
Because, bro, I mean...
You got to do it early.
I would blitz him.
Because he ain't missing.
Yeah,
But if you're going to give up something, you want to give up the mid-range, right? And you want them to work to get there and take the mid-range. It's the same sort of philosophy going up against Luka Doncic. We'll let you have the twos that take you a long time to get to, because we're going to come down and shoot a 3. Or we're going to get there, we're just going to score faster And percentage-wise, the numbers would tell you the mid-range is the lowest percentage shot that you can take. What makes Kawhi so difficult is he turns that on his head because his mid-range is automatic.
Automatic.
So it changes the numbers.
Do you think, though, because he's averaged 40 minutes a game, right, the first two games in the series. It's a long playoff runs, right, like Denver, good team. Do you think he can keep this up at 40 minutes?
That's a good question, though.
Because, like, he's 33 going on 43. He's playing really well.
Yeah.
That's what gave me pause in this question.
It's fair. And I can only go by physically, he looks good.
He looks smaller. Not smaller, but he looks more in shape. He was bigger before. Hey, Slick, real quick, was it last year where in one of the games he dropped like a great game and the next day or the next week they said, yo, he's out?
He was out.
Oh, that was last year.
I think it was game 1. I want to say game 2.
See, and that does scare me when Chase asked the question. I started thinking about it because I'm like, man, he was playing well last year and then he's out of have a good game and I know where, oh, my knee, I'm done.
Run out of gas.
But what's so interesting now, and I said this in our pre-show meeting, usually you can look at Kawhi and say anatomically or structurally or kinetically, like, man, he might get hurt. He looks off. So his gait pattern is off. He's running with the weird limp or the weird hobble. He looks spry. He looks fresh. He looks lean.
He does look lean.
He looks young. He looks like it's obviously we can't predict injuries and we don't want to see him. And Shady's exactly right. One game he goes crazy. Next game he just misses. He didn't even look hurt. Remember 3 years ago, goes crazy.
He won the game for him before he got hurt.
Running down the court, he just tears his ACL non-contact. Just some weird stuff. But right now, he just looks. I hope we get to see this Kawhi. It's been a treat. It has been an absolute treat. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.